Joining you from the T-Mobile Social Circle. Let's get to it. You know, so many emotions get stirred when you talk about George Zimmerman, and stirred all the more when we find out the gun used to kill Trayvon Martin back up for again, going on right now. So the question, why would someone join up with Zimmerman to help sell this weapon? United Gun Group, they're holding the auction. Its creator and owner, Todd Underwood, tried to answer that question on CNN's New Day.
This is not about George Zimmerman for us. This is about the Second Amendment and standing firm for individual rights as adults to make their own decision. Let me be clear. We are not selling the gun. We are allowing another individual to make his own decision on what he wants to do.
All right, that's a change of heart. A few days ago, here's the statement from them. Our mission is to, as he kind of talked about there, esteem the Second Amendment and provide a safe and secure platform for firearms enthusiasts and law-abiding citizens. Our association with Mr. Zimmerman does not help us achieve that objective. So they were against him. Now they're with him. Why the flip-flop?
That was a knee-jerk reaction due to public outcry. When we took a step back and analyzed the situation, compared it to our mission, our vision, and our values, and where we stand with the Constitution and individual liberty, and with the other people involved in the decision-making process, we agreed to go with our original stance.
All right, we're going to get back to that auction in just a moment. But why do we care? Let's go back to the killing of Trayvon Martin just a few years ago and relive some of the emotions of that case that grabbed our nation.
This guy looks like he's up to no good.
They were the 911 calls that shaked our nation to its core.
Now he's coming towards me.
I don't know what's going on.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
So you think he's yelling help?
Yes.
All right, what is your...
They've killed my son, and now they're trying to kill his reputation.
He's a nice guy in a horrible situation.
Our son is your son. Yeah! I want you guys to stand up for justice.
George viciously blindsided by a nose-breaking attack.
Trayvon Martin did not have a gun.
George has never said that Trayvon touched the gun.
I pledge I will not let my son die in vain.
So again, the emotions of the case. Back with us, John Phillips. John's a wrongful death attorney, and he also the former attorney of Jordan Davis's family. We know a similar case, racially charged case. Jordan Davis, teenager, killed in a dispute over loud music. The man doing the shooting, Michael Dunn, convicted in that case. So, John, just a special heart for this case. First off, were you surprised that the auction's back up again here in the third go-round?
Not once I did a little bit of research on Todd Underwood. You know, he used to have a Twitter account and would kind of take on the Black Lives Matter and you know, Moms Demand Action type establishments. So you've got a natural pairing with George Zimmerman and Todd Underwood, it seems to me.
Well, yeah, and George Zimmerman in his post, the original one anyway, talked about some of the money used for the proceeds of this gun would help fight against Black Lives Matter, basically. That's it in a nutshell. What do you make of it beyond that? So you think maybe he's got a link with George Zimmerman in beliefs? Anything beyond that? Do you think this is part of just trying to sell a gun that was used in a high-profile case?
Sell a gun. He's repeatedly said that he doesn't profit. It's not like an eBay situation where they get a percentage of the profits, but certainly web advertisement, web hits. I went to the site today. So the increased traffic, the national publicity certainly wouldn't hurt. He actually took down his personal Twitter account. They still have the United Gun Group Twitter account. But there's always secondary gain in instances like this, and it's tragic because it's coming off of the literal death of Trayvon Martin.
And the interest in the gun, is it murderabilia? And I say that, you know, there are laws. If someone's convicted, you can't do this. But since George Zimmerman was acquitted, then it's open season to sell. You think that plays in?
We talked about that a little bit on Friday, the Son of Sam laws and the murderabilia with Joey, and it does play into it. From looking at what the bids were Friday, it looked a lot like just about all of them were fake.
Yeah.
You know, racist mixed shoot face, you know, kind of parody. But at the end of the day, somebody's going to buy it. There were posts on there saying I would buy it. There were rumors this weekend that a rap artist had bought it through a secondary source just to destroy it. Yeah, ultimately, this gun's going to wind up in the hands of somebody. And you know, that's the unfortunate thing. Plus all the press that's been garnered. You know, we're gonna have a new person who's tied to the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case, whoever the gun owner is, and you know they're going to get fame out of this too, and it's really disgusting.
You just mentioned it. Who could end up with this? I want to throw this off you. There was a gentleman by the name of Jeff Posey that was, and I'll paraphrase what his thought was on buying the gun. It sounds like he wanted to, and he said that basically he doesn't want the gun to be somebody's kill trophy. He thinks it's an ultimate insult to the Martin family that someone's waving this around. I'm kind of paraphrasing here. YouTube for the next 30 years. He says no one should have the gun, but the first step is getting it out of George Zimmerman's hands. Would that be a good thing from your vantage point? Just somebody to get it and destroy it and put it away.
George Zimmerman's going to find something else in 6 months to get publicity with. You know, first it was that first painting of the American flag. Then it was the painting of Angela Corey. And if you'll recall, I represented the guy that did the original picture, and we got a cease and desist on that. Then it's the criminal cases. He's always going to have something hanging over us. And, you know, I'm sure there's the clothes that he wore that night or the car that he drove. You know, he's always going to keep going back. But the murder weapon is significant, and it's something that we would like to see, you know, not publicized. As I said on Dr. Drew last week, George Zimmerman does have a right to sell it, and that price is about $500 or less. Tying Trayvon Martin's name to it to make it a $100,000 item or $1 million item is really what's disgusting. And I wish I could find a state law or a federal law that, you know, kind of an invasion of privacy or a copyright trademark issue that could stop him, but we just can't find one.
Yeah, and let's take a look at some of his quotes from that post, because this is where he's coming from, calling, you know, basically saying he's honored and humbled to announce the sale of an American firearm icon. He talks about ending the brutal attack from Trayvon and wrapping this up with a Latin phrase that if you want peace, prepare for war. He sees himself as some kind of hero, doesn't he?
He does. He always has. It's been, you know, him and his brother and family have been kind of martyrs in their own mind through this. And at the end of the day, the right thing to do, look, no matter what happened that night, the right thing to do is to have respect towards the families. He took a life, and it's unfortunate. And he not only doesn't respect that, he's doing the opposite, which is, you know, continuing to rip the scab off, not just of the Martin family, but the nation. You know, we've got a lot of healing.
Well put, John. Good seeing you. So we'll see how this auction plays out. As it's up and running, opening bid $100,000. We'll see what happens. John, good seeing you. Thanks again. All right. How about this?